The Amazon Fire 10 13th Gen is here, and it's going for about $150, the same as the previous 12th Gen, and unfortunately it still has 3 gigabytes of RAM, while Walmart's ONN now has 4 gigabytes of RAM. I guess the only upgrade compared to the 12th Gen in terms of the RAM is that this is using LPDDR4X, which basically has less power consumption. So I guess that's a slight improvement, and it does say it's going to be about 25% faster than the 12th Gen. So let's see. So in the box, got the tablet itself here in this like paper cover. Put that to the side. And then in here should be a user mod guide, as well as the USB-C to USB-A cable. And then finally, there's also a wall outlet on the other side. It's a 9-watt charger. Okay, so this feels a little bit different when it has a plastic finish. So that just means it's going to be more lightweight, but it definitely feels a little cheaper because I had the Walmart ONN 10 tablet, or was it the 11-inch? Can't remember which one exactly. Like 2 of them had like a more premium finish, and it definitely looks better and feels nicer, especially when you're going to be giving a tablet to a gift to a kid or a friend. They definitely appreciate it more because it does feel more premium. Because sometimes people don't care about specs and whatever it might be. So that's why it would be nicer to have like a metal finish. But not the end of the world. It seems like it can kind of catch fingerprints. It feels cold to the touch. It's just hard plastic. It's not really glossy. So on this side, there's nothing. On the top, you got the speaker grills. So it's kind of nice it emits on the top at least instead of the back. You got the power button, volume keys. You do have the USB-C port here, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. Always nice to see that these days. It looks like there's a microSD card slot here. MicroSD tray. And then really that's pretty much it. There is the camera that's on the back. It's slightly protruding this time around. Then there is the front-facing camera on top here in the middle. Right in the middle. I don't know why it's not focusing well. Okay, there we go. As I'm going through setup, it looks like there's a quick update that's 304 megabytes. Something worth noting is that these tablets have a kid-friendly version. You don't have to really get the kid's tablet version of the Fire 10. This would be more than sufficient because you can create this child profile and you can get a case on its own. Unless if you like that blue looking case or whatever one that they give with it. There's the good old Fire OS. Man, it's pretty much the same as it's been the last few years. I mean, nothing really innovative. I will say the one good thing I like about these is the laminated screen. I mean, 1080p isn't really that bad on a 10-inch tablet. And if not broke, don't fix it. It also gets relatively bright, and it does have widevine level L1. It's running Fire OS 8.3.2, and then there's also, out of the box, like 24.64 gigs free. First thing I had to download was the Google Play Store, because the App Store is such a joke. I don't know why they haven't included the Play Store yet. It's awful, just to say the very least. There's no way I would even recommend this tablet without having the Google Play Store, making that possible to download. And if you want to see a video on that, I'll have a separate video. I'll have a card here or even in the description on how it's done. So it's not too hard. I'm not really going to go over the cameras, but they're pretty much the same as before. It seems like it's decent enough to take like notes in class or something like that, because I took a picture of this newspaper article, or not newspaper, but this ad or flyer, and it seems like it caught everything. I can read every single thing on here, so that's not bad. And then the front camera is all right for video calls. Card slot for expansion. And yes, a good old USB. So the speakers are okay. I feel like they could have been a little bit louder, but it is what it is. It's not too distorted or anything like that. As I mentioned before, this can run videos at full HD 1080p because of that widevine level being L1 here. Security level is L1. And then going into CPU-Z, and we can see some of the specs here. It was running an MT8169 processor. Overall, it's going to be a little bit faster than the previous generation. By how much? They say 25%, but I mean, I'll have to see exactly by playing some games. Unfortunately, Geekbench was not available on the Play Store. The show must go on without it. So the GPU render is Mali G52MC2. Then there's some more specs here. I'm not going to go through everything, but just go over it just so everyone can see. Also, the battery seems to be a bit bigger, slightly bigger on here, so it'll last a little longer, hopefully. First game here is Roblox, and last time I played Roblox, it wasn't really that bad. It didn't lag too much, so I'm not really expecting much here, except maybe just minor improvements. I do see some frame rate drops here, but it still looks like it's playable. Yeah, I do notice a little bit more lag now as you interact with the screen. Yeah, it's not bad overall. Next game here is RuneScape, not old school RuneScape, and these are the settings. So I think it's pretty much at the minimum settings almost. There's some stuff on here like terrain binding, textures, etc. So taking a look at the FPS rate, it seems like it's relatively decent overall. Not too bad. It's in the 30s. And then if I'm by like some flames, it'll be even worse. But yeah, still not bad overall. So if I change the graphic settings, hopefully it'll run a lot faster. Alright, this is a lot smoother now. It stays in the 60s at some points, but the lowest I've seen it drop or dip down to is like 30. So overall, this isn't bad at all. Yeah, I guess this is an improvement to the previous gen. Not by much, but it's just enough to not be an upgrade. But if you're in the market for a 10-inch tablet, and especially around Black Friday in December, this is going to be going for most likely $99, I want to say, or $100. So that's when it's really worth getting this. They do have a Fire Max 11, which has 1 more gigabyte of RAM. It's just overall better and larger. So it's great to watch videos on. I have a video on this, so I'll have an annotation up here somewhere you can look at. And if you do want to see a comparison video between the Fire Max 11 and the Fire 10 HD10, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.